Without fail, whenever I bring up the cost of daycare, somebody will ask me if I've looked into a nanny. And of course I have. I've looked into every form of childcare you can think of. A nanny share, childcare centers, home daycares, au pairs, part-time childcare. I've looked into everything. But here's the thing that always blows my mind. Everyone always assumes a nanny is less expensive than a daycare center, and that it couldn't be farther from the truth. A nanny is probably the most expensive form of childcare that anybody can have. It is truly seen as a luxury form of childcare, and I want to just show you some prices to make it make sense. This is the price for daycare for an infant for 1 week. So in Massachusetts, where I live, it's $372. Now let's look at a nanny. Okay, Massachusetts tops the charts on this one at $899 per week. $899 per week. Daycare was $372. Now, some people will come on here and say, well, if you have multiple children, then a nanny might make more sense. But that is also not true. Nannies need to be paid according to the amount of work they're doing. And so if they're caring for more than one child, they expect to be paid for that. And so here where I live, the minimum cost of a nanny is about $25 an hour, and that's for one child. If you have multiple children, I have seen that most nannies will require an additional $5 per hour per child. So for my family, where we have 4 kids, we would be looking at anywhere between $30 and $40 an hour for a nanny. So here's the thing, if I was paying $30 per hour, 40 hours a week, I'd be paying over $60,000 just for the 2 children to be cared for by a nanny. That far exceeds the $40,000 a year I'm paying for daycare. And I know that is confusing, and if you're not in the know on all of the childcare, people like to assume that a nanny is less expensive, but that's just because people devalue that work. Truly. Childcare workers, nannies, they do not get paid well, but they should. And when you have a nanny, it's also important to note, you need to pay them PTO. You need to withhold taxes. You can provide them benefits and should provide them benefits. These are all important things to know. Having a nanny is truly a luxury form of childcare, and that is okay. Nannies are amazing and they have their place if you can afford them. But for the average family, when they talk about the cost of childcare, we are not talking about the most expensive thing when we talk about daycare. Oftentimes, that is what was affordable to us and accessible to us. But there are all different forms of childcare, and transparently, they are all very expensive.